It's documented now. So again, you got the fatter side, you got the smoother side with the holes. This is the side that you actually want to go from to pop it out of the shell. So again, kind of like you're driving into a rock. In this case, you're now going to be driving into the shell. Key is, I don't want to drive upward at all because then I'm cutting my meat. So again, I'm basically driving into the shell and I'm feeling where there's resistance. Where there's resistance, that means I'm hitting the meat that is attached to the shell. At a certain point, it just doesn't seem like it's working. Once you kind of found that middle point, then at that point, you can come up, just give it a few love taps, and pop it out. Okay? So now, at this point, this is all guts in here. This is all my meat over here. So now what I do is I just gently peel this back. Wow. You can see a little bit of a tear there, which is not exactly where I want it. It's tearing right along this edge. This is where I want it to tear.
Wow,
so now it pulls back and leaves all the dirty guts back here. And now, pull that out.
I said, go back this way. Looks like you got some oysters in there or something.
It might have popped off when I drove it in. So now at this point, this is fairly nice and clean, and I've severed it. So now, one of the other parts you want to do is check for any pearls. I find pearls typically on this lead edge over here. The other part is to check. I'm going to steal the shell here.
Yeah.
I don't want to get all the sand. So then the final part is for cleaning is take this, run your finger around. That severs all the guts. Now this is kind of clean to get rid of. When you take this stuff home, what I do is I will dig a hole next to a tomato plant, put this in, and it really helps the tomato plant significantly.
Nice.
I used to have a girlfriend that she absolutely, every time she wanted me to bring them home so she could compete with her dad on the biggest tomato plants. So what I'm doing right now is I'm feeling the guts and everything, because again, I'm feeling for any little hard nodules, because that could be a pearl. More commonly, they're going to be in the gut, supposedly, but I never find them there. I always find them in the lead edge.
Have you found them before?
Yes, I have found pearls before. Biggest one is about the size of a pea, type of thing. So
I'd say.
So I mean, there's nothing there. So now at this point,
that's a pretty one too. That looks really colorful.
Yeah, that's a good shell. So in my case, I have a dedicated board for abalone. So one side I do cutting, the other side I do the pounding. It makes life a lot easier.
Get the script on. Death throes.
Oh, he's found a new home.
Yeah, he did. So now at this point.
So is its head in the gut area, or I mean, is it just It's just reactionary?
There's really no head per se.
Okay.
So now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the lips off. At home, I'll typically throw this in a Ziploc, and then at that point, try to save it for making a chowder or something. I can't say that I've succeeded at finding a good recipe for this, but I hate throwing away good meat. So I'm basically at this point, I'm just kind of cutting this away. Supposedly 20 years ago, somebody told me that people can be allergic to the black, and yet I've never seen anything about that.
What's in the black? That's
don't know. Never got around to researching. I just enjoy the cooking part. So now what I've done is essentially I've kind of cut away the lips and the main obstructions. So now at this point, this area here, I just kind of make a little cone. Some people do a V to get rid of that. So.
you said the mouth.
Do you eat that, or you don't? That cone that you just pulled out?
No, that's trash. So, and then I just kind of do a cut back here, and then the final part would be to do a cut across the bottom. And this is a little harder because we're on the ground versus a table. So now at this point,
Mr. Carter,
yes,
you cut your finger already.
yeah, I saw
Feel
that. Yes,
You want like a bandage?
yeah, I'm gonna bandage here in just 1 second.
Priorities, clear
it's-
priorities.
Well, I'm not bleeding yet onto the meat, so that's where I'm.
So everything you have in your left hand is meat.
Oh yeah, this is all meat. This is
steak.
pretty much 100% protein.
Speaking my language.
There's no bacon in here. So at this point, it's a little easier on a table, so you're higher up. So the key to this is you really do want to make sure you get rid of this brown stuff, because if there's any rock in there at all and somebody bites down on this, you lose your appetite really fast.
Does it taste not pleasant, or?
Well, biting on a rock is not good.
But I mean the taste of the brown or black thing.
Some people don't like it. They feel
So there is a distinct difference in taste.
they're subtle.
Okay.
Normally I bring a meat slicer, and I will then, at this point, this would be getting a rinse. I would rinse this, and then I put it in the meat slicer, and then I slice it up and make big steaks like this.
So you go round ways, not sideways.
Well, you can go that way.
Okay.
It's equally as fine. I just like the bigger steak type of thing. So, but ultimately at this point, this all needs to be, I would discard this, dump it in there, and probably, I need to move the board up to the
Table.
higher level so I can I'll try to cut it this way. I think I have another fillet knife, which is a little sharper than this one.
It's a lean top.
So, but
No, I can pop it.
but that's pretty much how you pop it out and clean it up and everything. So,
Yeah, you made that look really easy.
of course,
Let's see,
Hey.
let's see what it's really like.
I mean, you got to understand, there's been a lot of years of doing this.
They're just right where they're in the rocks.
Thanks, T. That was awesome.
They're everywhere, dude.
I guess the next video is gonna be you cooking it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You gotta tenderize it first, right?
Yeah, it does have to be
I can
tenderized,
only catch 3,
and
but I caught like 8.
it has to be tenderized, and
Rockfish too?
that'll be the next stage.